There's no such thing as senseless violence, and I say that as a recovering Irish Catholic. Hi, welcome to the Silver Spleen. My name is Ronnie Biggs, and this is my review of Robbery. Robbery premiered at the Hong Kong International Film Festival in April 2016. But I didn't see it there or in its rather limited cinema run. But I did want to see it, so when it came out on DVD, I bought it, once it was 2 for 100 Hong Kong dollars. Robbery is the second movie directed by Fire Lee, who usually makes his living as a playwright. It's loosely based on his first play. I didn't know that when I watched Robbery, but that's probably a good thing, because I really don't like theater, and I don't like movies made from plays, because they tend to take place in one setting and have a lot of talking, and they seem to forget that the medium is called motion pictures. How is that relevant, I hear you asking? Because 95% of Robbery is set in one place, a convenience store. If you didn't know that Robbery was a surreal film, you'd figure it out by the impossibly huge size of said store. I've been in a lot of 7-Elevens in Hong Kong that I've had to navigate sideways, even with my girlish figure. I didn't necessarily like Robbery, but I do appreciate it. I'm glad it was made. It's well made in some ways, but it's not necessarily a good movie. Still, I was happy to see Hong Kong actors in a Hong Kong movie doing and saying some of these things. The film certainly has local relevance, but it also incorporates some non-local things that you don't often see in movies here. Unfortunately, one of the local things that Robbery does seem to have in spades is a sense of self-importance that I frankly found annoying. I don't care for movies that reek of self-congratulation. I'm not sure if it's because of the movie's thespian tendencies, or some people's habit of taking themselves and their indie movies too seriously or too positively, as if they're beyond critique. That's especially difficult when you can't seem to decide if your audience should care about or laugh at your characters. It doesn't help either that the kind of people most likely to have lives that parallel that of the protagonist are also the least likely people I could think of actually watching this movie. This movie is a lot more middle class than most of its characters. Robbery doesn't do itself any favors either when it ignores gaping logical holes in terms of story and character behavior that would make Goatsy blush. I'm not asking for realism or verite, since that kind of language seems to get those people's attention a little better. But plausible would be nice. Without that, the audience might end up laughing at you. And as long as I have my dander up, if you want to make a trenchant political satire, using some kind of supernatural cop-out at the end doesn't cut it. You've got to decide what your movie is, because trying to make it too many things may ultimately end up in the movie being, saying, and meaning nothing. But I have to say, it's not for lack of trying, there's no subtlety in any of this movie. From its social posturing to the outlandish violence, which may be part of the slavish Tarantino homage, to the blatant and frankly unforgivable sexism in the script. I didn't enjoy everything about Robbery, but there are more than a few funny and/or shocking moments that I admired and enjoyed. I have to say that I was, for a good portion of the film, entertained. But overall, I felt disappointed. Probably because of the whiff of smug self-satisfaction that seemed to be rolling off of this movie. It was not a pleasant smell. I admit, maybe I had my expectations too high for this movie, but I really wanted to like it more than I did. And maybe if I knew that it was a play to begin with, I would have changed my approach, or more likely just not watched it at all. I really don't like watching play adaptations, probably because I'm a Neanderthal. But you might enjoy this movie, and like I said, there is a lot of it that's fun, and it's different, and can be very entertaining. Just don't expect too much of it. In the description, there's a link where you can buy a copy on a Blu-ray or a DVD. Don't watch this movie illegally. Yes, I'm asking you to buy a movie, don't steal them. That's why we call it stealing, douche nozzle. If you enjoyed this review, please let me know. If you didn't enjoy it, who cares? Please subscribe to the channel, because that way I'll have more subscribers. Thank you for watching. See you next time.